Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the Soviet Tier 10 tank destroyer, the Object 263. Now if you do like the video, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe down below, as it really does help out the channel. And yes, the 263, Stalin's boot, as it's got the nickname from PC days. It's an okay tank destroyer. It's a tank destroyer that I'm not really a big fan of. I don't really enjoy this tank all that much. The tank has 4 degrees of gun depression, which is fairly awkward to use, although it is quite low to the ground. It is pretty damn quick at 55 kilometers an hour, and it will hit that, so it does shift pretty quickly. It's got this 130mm gun, I believe it has, which is fairly accurate and hits pretty hard with 550 alpha. You've got 4.1k DPM, which is pretty tasty. Then you've got a 2.3 second aim time, which means it does take a little bit to aim in, but your accuracy during rotation and accuracy during movement is not too bad. You do have a nearly 35 degrees a second hull rotation speed with the setup I've got, which means you do turn pretty quickly as well. And the armor is pretty damn nice on it. Like, the armor on this tank is really, really good. If you are front on to people and you are covering your lower plate, you're going to have a really good time. The one thing that annoys me about this tank is it's got a little bit on the gun mantlet where shells just fall straight through it, which is a little bit irritating, if I'm honest, because you're like, yes, my gun is absolutely fabulous, and then they shoot the gun mantlet, which is about 250 effective, and just to the left of it, they then just randomly pen it, and you sit there going, what? Come on. Okay. The superstructure is really strong as well, and it bounces a hell of a lot of damage. Like, you're going to see it in this first replay, just how good this armor profile is. It's really, really good. The only problem is, as soon as you slightly turn to the left or right, that's where your armor becomes pointless, and they will go straight through it. So you've got to be very, very careful with the way that you angle this tank. You want to put it in a good position where you can stay with your front head on to the enemy team, and then hide that lower plate so that you can just keep working them over with the great DPM that this tank has, and just a pretty damn consistent way that this tank puts out the damage. What's really awkward about this tank is the fact that the gun traverse is fairly limited in the fact that it doesn't go that far left or right, and the 4 degrees of gun depression is really yucky at times as well. It makes it really awkward to fight on certain areas of certain maps. That just gives other tanks great advantages for you. It also limits you to how many places you can actually hide the lower plate as well. So what do I run in terms of a crew on the old Object 268? Well, I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Trap Mechanic, Steady Aim, Clutch Braking, Camouflage Expertise, Silent Driving. Camouflage Expertise to make the camo better, because the camo on this tank is really good, and with this build you've got, or I've got, sorry, I can get it down to 260 meters of still concealment, so I make it better with the Camouflage Expertise, the Silent Driving to reduce the effect of driving on my camo, Clutch Braking to make this tank turn quicker, because it is one thing you want to do with having no turret, is make sure that you can get this gun turned on target as quickly as possible, and then the Steady Aim to make the gun 10% more accurate, because you just want to do that. Because even though it is a fairly accurate gun, it still derps, and it's still really quite annoying for that. It feels really old school with its gun handling sometimes, this tank. And then in terms of equipment, I run Advanced Loader, Optics, Camo Net. Camo Net to make sure that the camo is really good. Even though this tank can be played really aggressive and in people's faces, you can also have a great time playing it as a true tank destroyer, sitting further back, using the fantastic camo to your advantage, and then just keep slapping rounds down range with it. And there's just, it gives you that flexibility of having two separate playstyles for the 263. And obviously, you always want to make your DPM 10% better with the Advanced Loader and Optics, because you just want to try and spot for yourself. You can get the view range up to 499 meters of view range with this 263, which gives you that flexibility to try not to get too outspotted at times. So this first replay, you can see we're on Kasserine, and we're in a bit of an aggressive spot, and we're actually in a spot which is a bit awkward. We got in and got rid of this AMX M454, but now we're in a bit of an awkward situation where we're being shot by something that's at EF6, so we can't pull up and use the dead wreck of the AMX M454 too easily. But we've basically got most of the enemy team in front of us, which is a little bit awkward. We've got a Jagdpanzer in front of us who bounces. Again, this really shows how good the armor is on this tank. But we've got two medium tanks on our right as well, which are making this awkward in the King Dragon and the Type 59-2. All we can do, at this point, I'm thinking, right, I need my friends behind me to start helping and putting damage in. But I also just need to basically, I just need to figure out the fact that I'm dead. I'm dead at this point. I just need to keep putting shots down range as much as I can, whittle the enemy team down as much as possible, and hopefully then my team can pick off the one-shots. So the King Dragon's driving through. We finish off the King Dragon for 484. We bounce another Jagdpanzer shell, and then I realise, oh no, I've got a problem. I try and look for the Type 59-2, but oh no, there's the 263. It's flanked. Nobody's covering the flank whatsoever. And we get a shot through his lower plate, and I just die. It is what it is. I probably should have pulled further forward there to stay safe from him, but I just realised I was dead. And we finished with the defeat, sadly. 2 kills, 7.3k damage, 4.9k block, the high caliber, the sniper medal, second class, with 822 base XP on a loss. That showed the 263 though. When you get it into that position where you can get your lower plate covered and you can just keep the gun working, you can bounce a lot of shells and you can just keep slapping out the rounds, and the damage ticks up really, really quickly. But as you saw there, that's the vulnerability of obviously not having a turret, is that once we start to get outflanked, we couldn't really do much about it, because it was either turn our armor to one set and make our armor worse for them, or, you know, turn our armor to the other and, again, have the same problem. And because we didn't really have much help from the team there, we just ended up getting singled out and dead. We made a mistake, really, as well, in the fact that we pushed very aggressively into the MXM 454 and then went, oh my goodness me, that's like 7 tanks in front of me. I am boned here. And sometimes you've just got to realise the situations where you are actually boned and you are just going to die, and try and make the most of that situation, pretty much. Because I was never getting out of that situation. I was going to die if I tried to get out, because all I could do was reverse straight. If I turned ever so slightly, they were just going to have 3 shots into my side, and that was it, because I was fairly low health already. So you just got to realise where you're dead, and then, again, try and make the most of it. Try and squeeze out as much as humanly possible. So we're on the second replay, and the second replay is on Hellfire Pass Small, and we've managed to catch the C-75 out, and that's where the camo is glorious on the 263, because we did not get spotted getting into this position, which is a great position to take for a tank destroyer like this, because we can get hull down here, shoot the people that do like to go up into the position where the E-75 is, and you can basically get a free farm. We see the TD that's below us, which is a Badger. He's not really focused on us, though. We can't quite get the reloading in time to get the shot into the E-75 to shut him down. But we're just trying to maneuver ourselves into a better position to get another shot at the TDs at the back, like the Waffly 100. But then we notice there's an IS-3 on the move, progressing. There we go, English is hard. It's progressing down the J line, so we turned around, got a free shot into his side, and I was thinking of poking up on top of this little rock area to try and see if I could spot any of the TDs that do like to camp back at K45, but I decided against it, because that is a really soapy rock area, and there's a lot of times where you use that position and your tank just starts sliding for no reason whatsoever. And with a tank that's got no turret and the armor is all centralized at the front, that can be a bit awkward, where you end up giving them free angles to shoot you. Plus also 4 degrees of gun depression really limits ability for me to use that position too. So you see us destroy that building there. That building's now gone, which gives us free shots towards that Waffly 100 if he decides to drive out. And in fact, it's actually given us a free shot straight towards the Concept 1B, which the shell flies through straight into the side of his turret, which is glorious. We're up to 2.7k damage. And there we go. If that Waffly 100 pokes out around that corner, we can actually get shots at him now without destructible cover being in the way. So we've actually got shots at the Ferdinand and at the Bisonte as well. Can we find a shot into the side of this Ferdinand? And actually the Jagdtiger's out in the open as well, so we get a shot straight through the Jagdtiger's upper plate, because we have really good penetration on this tank, and that's happened. And yeah, the Waffly 100 manages to actually catch 2 shots into our side as we pulled back. I thought the Waffly 100 would get spotted if we put around that corner, but apparently not. And he managed to get 2 shots into our side in the blink of an eye, and we drop down 1,100 hit points. We do get another shot into the Ferdinand there as he was trying to escape. And yeah, because the penetration on this tank is absolutely fabulous, you will go through things like Jagdtiger upper plates quite easily, because you have 290 pen on the standard AP round, with 330 penetration on the APCR rounds, which the APCR rounds on this tank are phenomenal, by the way, on this 263. They've got 1,250 meters a second shell velocity on that APCR with that 330 APCR pen. It means you just absolutely butcher everything, and you don't really struggle at firing at range too much. The 1,000 meters a second shell velocity on this standard AP round is pretty decent, but it feels that much slower compared to the APCR rounds when you use it. So there, again, is where destroying that building has helped. We managed to get a shot into the drive wheel of that Waffle E100, but he managed to repair it and get out. We can now get some shots towards the Griller, which we put a shot straight into his turret there. Just waiting on the reload. Hopefully we'll get another shot in. He's trying to look for shots at someone else. Maybe he thinks he's safe there, but he's not, as we get another shot straight into the top of his turret there for 579. Now the Jagdtiger's in a bit of a perilous position. I'm just always being careful here. We get a shot through the drive wheel of the Jagdtiger, which tracks him in place. He's repaired it, but I'm always being careful that I'm always ready to just go, oh no, that's the Waffle E100 and run away, right? But we're not getting spotted at this current point in time, so it's going well to be able to keep pummeling the shots into the Jagdtiger, who just gets behind the buildings, so we can't quite find the shot into him. So what I'm going to do now is progress myself over to the ridgeline over here so that I can go attack that Waffle if I want to, and then get round to the side of the Jagdtiger / Trashante. But from this ridgeline as well, I'm thinking, because look, there's a heavy tank spotted at B3 and a medium tank in the Mantis at A4. Now, they've pushed that flank over there, which is not the best flank in the universe to push on Hellfire past Small, because it's really easy to get farmed as you try to leave it. And we are going to try and put ourselves in a position to get a shot at the Highlander. You can see, we can actually see that Highlander if he pokes around this corner. So we're just going to do TD things. We're going to sit and wait. We're going to be patient. We're on 6.6k damage at the minute, which is pretty damn nice. And it's currently 7-7, so there's still a fair bit more hit points in this game to go farm. So we're just going to sit and wait. There we go. The Highlander finally drives out, and we put the shot down range straight in to shut down that tier 10 Chinese heavy tank. Now there's only 6 tanks left on the enemy team. We don't really know where, well, we know where at least 3 of them are, in the Jagdtiger, the Waffle E100, and the Trashante. They're somewhere around this corner. So what we're going to do is we're going to push this corner and see if we can catch any of them out, because that would be great. I'm expecting the Waffle E100 to probably be still sat on this corner waiting for someone to make a mistake, but if we can get a free shot into him, that would be glorious. There we find the Waffle E100. We get a shot snapped in, and it flies true. 561, straight into that Waffle 100, puts him down to a 2-shot, up to 7.6k damage. The 114 SP2 ends up getting shut down, which puts us down to 5 tanks left on the enemy team. And we're just going to try and push and see if we can get a cheeky another shot into this Waffle 100. But the Waffle 100 is on the run. We actually caught him as he was moving, and sadly, because we couldn't quite take effect of that and we proxy spotted each other, that meant that he has had the chance to turn around. But the Diamondback shuts down the Jagdtiger. The Waffle 100 on our team shuts down the Jagdtiger that was down there, or whatever it was that was down there, which means there's only 2 tanks left on the enemy team, which is a Waffle. It was Concept 1B, that was what it was. He shut down the Concept 1B. So we know the Waffle 100 is down here, and we don't know where the other TD is. There's me and a Diamondback looking at this guy, and, well, we're going to die if we go over. He could actually kill both of us with a full clip, so it's not something that we want to do. We want to try and bait him into shooting to wasting rounds, but I actually see the machine is going round, so we're just going to wait. We're just going to wait for the machine to go around and distract him, because the machine will probably start farming him and he'll turn around and give us a free shot. He doesn't actually turn around and give us a free shot, but he clearly starts panicking, and because the machine put all those shots into him, it means that he was a one-shot for us, and we could just risk taking the hit from the Waffle 100 and shut him down. We're up to 7.7k damage now with that killing the Waffle 100, and there's only 1 tank left, which is an Iron Rain, and we are loading the HE round that this tank has, because this tank has a HE round that has 75 pen with 750 damage. The 750 alpha is really nice on the HE round if you manage to pen it, and against a tank like the Iron Rain, it's going to penetrate that Iron Rain, and it's going to do a significant amount of damage to it. I mean, we take away 3/4 of its hit points with that shell. So we're just trying to reclimb the hill to see if we could get there, and the machine is machining his way. He's running, he's speeding towards that Iron Rain to try and find him. But the Iron Rain's actually caught him out, and he's still on top of the ridgeline. The tank on my left gets a snapshot into him, and we managed to get that HE round in for 780, and we finish off the Iron Rain there with the victory. 3 kills, 8.5k damage, 262 assistance. The first class, the High Caliber, the Confederate, 1472 base XP. A first class for 8.5k damage. It is what it is. But we finished the game with a really nice total for the Object 263 there. Again, just showing off what Stalin's Boot's all about. It's a pretty damn nice tank to play. It's not really my cup of tea, because I just don't like the inflexibility of it at times, and it's just not me. I prefer tanks with higher alpha as opposed to the ones with the really high DPM that, like this thing has. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
great success.